Yes, I think that AI will lead to the destruction of love on this world. How can this happen? Before you think I'm crazy, just hear me out and let's reason together. Let's start with one of the strongest form of love there is, like the unconditional love between parents and children. So you may ask yourself the question, how can AI destroy this unconditional love? I mean, it's obviously unconditional by the name, so what can AI do to destroy it? Well, let's look a bit deeper into this unconditional love. Unconditional love is a process. It doesn't exist in the beginning of time and until the end of time. It's a process that starts when the child is born. And when the child is born, the mother and the father will take care of the child for as long as they live. And this process, this care, is what creates the unconditional love. Now, what will happen to this unconditional love if the process itself will disappear? See, that's a tough question that probably we don't want to answer. But let's look at some other things. How can this process disappear in the first place? Well, right now in 2024, and since the last 300,000 years, the culture is saying that the best option for raising the children is just the mother and the father. And the culture is saying that because practically this is the best option. Now, we like to think about ourselves as humans as being some very idealistic creatures, but in fact we are super practical. And the culture of raising the children with the mother and the father has been created because there is nothing better. Literally, there is nothing better than the mother and the father. But what if in the future there is going to be something better? What then? And what can that better thing be? So imagine the year is 2040 and Samsung or Apple, what is your favorite company, will say, hey, we just launched Mother 0.01. It's going to be better than your mother. At first, humans will say, no way I'm going to do that, my mother is my mother. And that's fair, because those relations are already formed. But there's always going to be new couples, and in these new couples, at some point, the mother and the father will say, hey, I'm very tired, hey, I'm sick. What if you buy such a droid and we just use the droid for this night? And the droid will take care of the child for one night. What can happen? What can be harmed by that? And probably nothing. Try to understand, this droid is driven by AI, it has maybe medical knowledge that is as good as a doctor. It knows how to play with the child, it knows how to monitor the child. It's just like a super mother on steroids that never sleeps. So it's not going to be a bad choice to give the infant to the droid to take care of him for one night or even more. So the point is, at some point, humans will try that. And let's suppose this virtual couple will try this and they will give the child to the droid this night. And then in a month they're going to think, it's very hard, I'm being tired, let's try the droid again. And they're going to try the droid again. And then in a week they're going to try the droid again. And pretty soon it's going to become the standard, because the mother will say, hey, what am I losing in the end? I mean, I'm just sleeping in the bed, the child is just sleeping in the bed, we're just sleeping, we're not interacting. What's so bad if the child will just stay with the droid and I'm going to take care of the child during the day? And that will allow me to sleep, and I will be more functional during the day. So, why not doing it then? And that's going to be the logic, and it sounds like a good logic. So in the end, the point is that the mothers will lose their time with the infants, with their children, due to the droid. If things stop here, then it's not a big deal. But as we all know, human nature is always looking for more. Now, if the droid is so capable and so positioned to take care of the child at night, why not doing it during the day as well? Maybe the mother and the father, they want to, they have a busy day, or they want to do something for their own, and say, hey, I'm going to give the child to the droid again for 2 or 3 hours. I mean, the droid is taking care of the child the entire night for the past 3 months. I'm sure he can stay with the child for 3 hours today, and everything will be fine. And that's going to be another beginning. At first, the parents have lost the time with the children at night, and now they are in the process of losing the time with the children during the day. And as always, things start very small, right? Just 2 hours today, 2 hours tomorrow. And these 2 hours today and 2 hours tomorrow are going to transform themselves in time in, hey, what if the droid will take care of the child for most of the day, and I can work most of the day, and I can do what I'm pleased most of the day. The droid will always take very good care of the child, so the child will not miss anything, so I can continue on with my life, and the child will grow just as beautiful as before. So do you see the problem now? The problem now is that the need of the child for the parent will disappear, and that need is going to be replaced by the droid. And when the need disappears, I'm arguing that the love will disappear as well. Maybe not completely, but yeah, it's not going to be good. So, what do you think about this? Share what you're thinking in the comments. So I decided to make a short follow-up video on the previous one because I don't think I was clear enough, and I didn't touch all the points that I had in my mind. First of all, let's clarify what I meant. The points are the following. First of all, humans will replace human parents with AI-based parents in the future, and in my opinion, that's not going to be a good development. And second, motherhood, which is a lifelong process right now, will become basically a 9-month process, because the mother will get pregnant, is going to deliver the baby, and then pretty much that's it. I hope that I'm wrong, but this could be happening in 40 to 50 years. It's not that far ahead. If general artificial intelligence becomes a thing today, then in 40 to 50 years, I'm very sure that this will happen, due to the reason that I mentioned in the previous video. Okay, if you have arguments against this, I'm very happy. I will be very happy to see what you think about it. Now, other points that we should discuss about in the same context is growing intellectually is going to be next to impossible. I mean, I'm looking at my reaction with ChatGPT and I don't like what I see. I already use it too much, in my opinion, and it's actually decrementing some of my skills. For example, if I want to make a thumbnail for this video, my first reaction is like, hey, hi Jobs. Jobs is the guy that takes care of the videos, the video editor, but if he wouldn't be around, I would have to think about ideas for the thumbnails. And guess what? I'm lazy enough to just decide to use ChatGPT and see what ideas I will get from there. But I wouldn't have accepted this like 5 years ago. And now it's like pretty much self-understood that, okay, let me see what ChatGPT thinks about it. And what's scaring me about this is that I don't even try to find the ideas now anymore. I just go to ChatGPT and I look over those ideas, and if I'm not happy with those ideas, then I brainstorm. Otherwise, oh, this is good enough, let's go with that. So I'm already losing my abilities to do things due to ChatGPT. So basically, the more AI will be able to do for us, the more our intellectual capabilities will decrease. And this is scary. Now, in the context of love that I mentioned at the start of the video, this is again worrying, because if our intellectual capacities are going down, are we going to be capable of loving other people? If we get dumber and dumber and dumber, who knows? Maybe not. Other things that we should think about. Social skills will decrease as well, because droids, AI-based droids, and it doesn't even have to be a droid, even if it's like a chat-based thing that is available all the time but is more friendly than ChatGPT, it's already going to wreak havoc in this world. People will get used to interact with AI systems, and AI systems are very different from people because they are very predictable. And the more we will lose our capability to speak human to human, the less we are going to be capable of loving another human. Because love starts with communication, and communication is going to be broken in the future. I'm not saying it's perfect now, but it's going to be much worse than it is today. So yeah, that's not a good thing, right? families with older people in the family will most probably use AI systems to take care of them. That again is not a good thing for humans, because the younger generation will not spend time with the older generation. They will lose the emotional connection, and they will lose the wisdom, and they will eventually even see them as completely useless. Because if you have nothing to do with the older generation, you don't care for them, you don't take care of them, you don't interact with them at all, and the older generation obviously is going to be less capable of taking care of themselves, then the rational thing would be to think that they are useless, right? So again, this will diminish the love that humans have for one for another. And another point that we need to make is that children raised by AI would most probably reject human relations completely, because AI it's more like it's almost like a god. Think about it: an AI based droid is going to be there for the child any second, any year, any decade, night and day. Is going to be super smart and be able to give advice to the child in almost all situations, and good advice, because probably it's going to be a lot smarter than humans. And it's not going to have any tantrums. It's just an AI, right? It's not going to have, hey, I'm upset, I'm tired, no. The AI is always going to be there. And how can real humans compete with that? I don't think they can, because humans, by definition, they are not perfect. And in this context, we are being asked to compete with perfect. And what human beings will choose imperfection over perfection? Okay? So, especially on this point, I'm really curious to think, what is your opinion about it? Am I wrong about this? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments if you think that I'm wrong about it. Another very important point: human resilience will disappear. Why will disappear? Okay, well, let's start. What is resilience? So resilience is the process of failing and carrying on. That's what the resilience is, right? You fail at something, you're not prepared, you didn't understood the subject, you failed, but you didn't give up. You persisted, you learned more about it, and you tried again and again and again. Maybe you tried 100 times and then you succeeded. And that's resilience. And when this process happens to you a few times, then you realize that there is value in resilience. There is value in not giving up, in not saying yes when you shouldn't say yes. There is value, and vice versa. There is value in having this quality. But what if you have an AI companion that will give you the right answers all the time? Or let's say not maybe all the time, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, the AI companion will give you correct answers. That's going to save you from a lot of mistakes. And you may think, okay, that's great. Yeah, it is great. But if you're saved from 95% of your own mistakes, what will happen to your resilience? It's gone. Resilience is gone, and full dependency on AI will become a thing. And in the context of love, that this video is about love, right? When there is no resilience, love becomes impossible. Because many people don't think about it, right? You may think that, hey, what, for somebody to love me, I don't have to be beautiful, I must have green eye or blue eyes, or be good, be smart, be funny. All these things help. But the thing that is at the core of love is resilience. All the other qualities pale in comparison with resilience. Who is going to love you if you're going to say yes under the smallest amount of pressure to something that you shouldn't say yes, obviously, whether you're a man or a woman? That means that nobody can trust you. You cannot be trusted because you're weak. And if you're weak because you have no resilience, love becomes impossible. Nobody can love you. It doesn't matter that you're good at poetry and you can play the guitar. Nobody will love you if you have no resilience. And dependency on AI will lead you in this direction, will lead you in the direction of having zero resilience. So see, another point, another situation in which human love, not only is going to become difficult, it's going to become impossible. Okay, and the last point, AI friends will probably replace human friends. Yeah, here I don't know how to say more than this. I think that's pretty clear where this will lead. This is self-explanatory. So I guess these are all the points for now. Please share your comments if you have any comments. If you think that, especially if you think I'm wrong, because it's fine if people say, "Hey, you're right," fine. But I'm very interested in opposing points of view. If you think that I'm wrong, please explain in the comments. Thank you. Hey ChatGPT, this man over here wants my house and my wife. He doesn't take no for an answer. What do I do now? What do I do now? Help me. Hey, so what do you think about this? Is this where humanity is going into the future? If so, just staying away from any AI related things can make you very powerful because everybody else will get weaker.